Marybeth Tinning killed all 9 of her children. Authorities initially thought that the family suffered from a rare genetic disease. That is, until the 6th child, who was adopted, was taken to the doctor after falling down the stairs and suffering from a concussion. The poor boy was already dead when they arrived. Each child was murdered in various ways over 14 years. The autopsy of her 9th child revealed she died from suffocation. Doctors now believe that Tinning suffered from Munchausen syndrome by proxy.
Marybeth Tinning, an American woman, was convicted of murdering her daughter and is suspected of causing the deaths of her 8 other children, whose deaths occurred between 1972 and 1985. Living in New York, Tinning was long under suspicion due to the unusually high mortality rate of her children. Doctors and investigators initially could not find an explanation for these tragedies. At first, it was thought to be a genetic disorder, but suspicions began to grow. In 1985, after the death of her 9th child, Tammy Lynn, an investigation revealed that the child's death was not natural. Marybeth Tinning confessed to the murder of her daughter and was arrested. At trial, it was established that Tinning suffered from Munchausen syndrome by proxy, a mental disorder in which a person causes or fabricates illness in another person, usually a child, to attract attention. In 1987, she was found guilty of murder and sentenced to 20 years to life in prison.
Okay, you guys, I was doing the nurse Hannah story, the update of this woman. She was, so-called allegedly abusing her son. Uh, and because in one of the videos, her son kept flinching, and she said she would never buy and went to court. Anyways, so and I did another video a week or two ago about Alana, and the title was Alana Hurts Daisy Hurts Baby for Fame. So this is a very old school Munching House syndrome story about Marybeth Tilling. As you can see, I only found a select few videos, not much on this woman. So this is what I was talking about. Okay, so this old murderous hoe, okay, don't, right? So she was born Marybeth Rowe Tinney. Well, she wasn't born Tinney, but whatever her name was. September 11th, 1942 in New York. Okay. And 1963, she met her husband, Joseph Tinney. Right, so they got married in 1965, and I think around 65, 66, they were having a bad marriage, and she poisoned him, y'all. Poisoned him with some barbiturates that she got from a friend because the friend's daughter has epilepsy. So she put this in his grape juice, and then he goes to the hospital and has a near-death experience with these barbiturates, but he doesn't press charges. This is where this Munchausen syndrome begins, all because she wants sympathy. Now, this murderous hoe has a child named Barbara Tinning. She was born in 1967, right? Followed by Joseph Jr. in 1970. Now, during this period, the kids are not harmed. The kids are fine. The kids are healthy. Right. So now this is where the sympathy comes in. In 1974, uh, I'm sorry. On December 26, 1971, their third child, Jennifer Tinning, is born. But, she never left the hospital. She died and she was only alive for a week. This is so sad, right? She didn't kill this baby. She didn't kill it. People were just like, oh, Marybeth, oh, it's okay, girl. You'll get through it. Just have another one, like they always say, right? Okay, so she does that. So, well, she doesn't do that yet. 2 weeks after Jennifer's died, she rushes Joseph to the hospital. Child, he was 2 years old at the time, okay? And he was having seizures and he choked on his vomit. After Joseph was released on January 20th, that same day brought him back to the hospital dead, child. Lord. And they said the boy died of cardiac arrest. So now, March 1st of that same year, she rushed her 4-year-old Barbara to the hospital, right? And she was having convulsions at the time. And then the next day, on March 2nd, she died after being in a coma. Okay, so again, the lady, she was getting sympathy. So now she started having more babies. So in November 22nd, 1973, she gave birth to her second son, Timothy. Girl, on December 10th, girl, that baby was dead. You hear me? The baby was dead. Okay, she went to the hospital and brought a dead baby. Child, this is sad. And she said she found the baby dead in his crib. Okay. So now in March 1975, her fifth child, Nathan, was born. He was born that autumn, right? And then he died when he was in her car. Now, how did the baby die in the car? Come on, y'all. Come on. Yeah. This sympathy mess is crazy. Mhm. Okay. 3 years later, in August 1978, she adopted a son named Michael. Okay. Keep Michael in mind. He is adopted, not related. Okay. On October 29th, she gave birth to her sixth child, you guys, sixth child named Mary Frances. In January 1979, she rushed her to the hospital. Oh, this nasty woman. You guys, this nasty woman said she was having seizures, just like her older brother Joseph did years earlier. Mary Frances was rushed back to the hospital a month later for cardiac arrest, just like Joseph years earlier. She was revived, but had bad brain damage. This is a baby, y'all. This baby's not even a year old. They're okay. And the baby was taken off life support. Then the Tinnings had an eighth child. Michael is still alive. Remember this. Michael is still alive. Okay, so they have an eighth child that was born in the fall of 1979. He died in March 1980 after being kept on life support for 4 weeks. Okay, you know what? Let me keep reading. So in February of 1981, Michael fell down the stairs, more like pushed, but hey, I wasn't there. I wasn't even born. And he suffered a concussion. On March 2nd, Marybeth took him to the doctor because he didn't wake up. Y'all know what's going on here. Michael was already dead when she arrived to the doctor. Why would she take Michael to the doctor and he fell and had a concussion down the stairs, y'all? Lord, I tell you, these people want attention bad. This is what attention gets you. They make you start murdering people. Now, Tammy Lynn, the last one and the ninth child, was born August 22nd, 1985. On December 20th, she was asphyxiated. On that day that the baby died, because she rushed her to the hospital, she was visited by social services. What took social services so long, y'all? What took them so damn long? From what, 1970? Lord have mercy, my memory is bad. From 1971 to 1985. What took them so long? 9 kids died in succession, year after year after year. Maybe one got skipped. That's probably because he was, not biological. Because they said that these kids all died with a genetic gene because they were all related. But Michael was not related, you guys. So that doesn't make sense. And his death wasn't even investigated. They just let it slide like, oh, okay, the baby just died. Y'all, see, if this was any, okay, let me keep reading. Okay, so the baby died, and then she was visited by social services and the Popo. Okay, so the children's death, all the children, all 9 of all 10, I say all 10 of them, right? But they say 9. The children's death was listed as natural, undetermined, or SIDS, which is a damn lie. Okay, you guys? So now she goes on trial, right? And so she is suspected to be the murderer of her kids, but they say they can't prove it. They thought Marybeth's first 8 kids died was due to genetics. Baby. They were murdered, honey. The 6th child, Michael, was adopted. Again, no investigation was done. And they said the police had enough evidence to charge Marybeth with Tammy Lynn's death, but why not the others? Okay. And in 1987, Marybeth was convicted of second-degree murder. Marybeth was sentenced to 20 years to life. 20 years to life. She didn't damn do. She had an appeal with the New York state. And, the lawyer was arguing, this lady confessed because she was threatened by the cops. Well, why would you confess that you murdered your 3 children, 3 of your children, Marilyn, Nathan, and Jonathan? I think there was Jonathan. I didn't read of Jonathan. But she says she murdered all 3, but they just can't prove it. So they took her to court for, little Lynn here. And she was diagnosed with Munchausen syndrome by proxy. She needed to be diagnosed with the electric chair, in my opinion. She sure wasn't. Oh boy, in 2018, they let her ass out. They let her ass out because she can't have no more babies because she was old as hell. And you guys, this is so sad. She got a chance to be free, but none of her children were free. Isn't that sad? Man, my heart is breaking. And this is why these cases these TikTokers that I was covering reminds me of this case and how it takes so long for CPS to step in, especially with little Daisy's brain surgeries. And, the mom, Alana, allegedly is making her sick. We don't know, but yo, 9 kids dead? And then CPS steps in when they're all dead? Yo, you could have stepped in when the third one was dying. But hey, what do I know? I'm a talking head. White people get away with everything. See you later, YouTube.